with this game, the Indiana Fever has been a team where they haven't been able to be consistent through the entire season, but the kind of basketball that they played against the Liberty state that she is seeing other doctors, and specifically doctors in New York, about her groin injury. They are still listing her as day-to-day, but the Indiana Fever hung in there, and it wasn't until the fourth quarter that the Liberty pulled away and they ended up winning the game at home in Brooklyn.
How does a casual chat in a tunnel spark the biggest WNBA power play ever? Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu, Breanna Stewart, and their coach were caught in a moment that was anything but random. What if that small interaction is the key to reshaping the league? Clark's agent is pulling strings behind the scenes to create a seismic shift in player power. But what does it mean for the Indiana Fever and the entire WNBA? Let's unravel the biggest move no one saw coming. Before we move on, I will like you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Caitlin Clark might be dominating highlight reels, shattering three-point records, and drawing massive crowds, but her salary? A modest $78,000. Yeah, you heard that right. The biggest name in women's basketball right now is earning just a fraction of what players in other leagues, and even her eventual WNBA peers, might make. Imagine being the face of the league and pulling in less money than a rookie accountant. It's a paycheck that feels wildly out of sync with her star power, and it's not even her choice. This brings us to one of the WNBA's trickiest issues: rookie contracts. These agreements lock first-year players like Clark into set wages, regardless of how much revenue or attention they bring to the league. She's filling arenas, boosting jersey sales, and bringing new eyes to the game. But there's no room to renegotiate or leverage her meteoric rise just yet. By contrast, the league's top veterans, those with the freedom to sign lucrative contracts and endorsement deals, can make up to $1 million a year. That's over 10 times what Clark earns, while arguably being just as valuable, if not more, in expanding the WNBA's audience.
We're expecting them to lose by 20 or 30 points. Everyone thought that it was going to be so many things right. I feel like they are going to be at the top of the list for free agency, not just this year, but in years to come. And at this point in time, they are also my favorites to win the WNBA. Plus, every game is a home game, but I feel like when they go up against the New York Liberty, that is the one place that it is not state that she is seeing other doctors, and specifically doctors in New York, about her groin injury. They are still listing her as day-to-day, but I don't know why they're listing her as day-to-day, because I feel like it is going to be a while before Caitlin Clark returns to the court.
Think about this. In the NBA, players like Steph Curry and LeBron James earn salaries directly proportionate to their impact. Curry doesn't just play basketball. He's a global icon, and his paycheck reflects it. Clark is no different when it comes to her influence. She's not just a player. She's becoming a brand, pulling attention from sports apparel companies, sneaker deals, and even casual fans who might not watch the WNBA otherwise. Yet, her salary makes it feel like she's in a completely different league, and not in a good way. Her agent, Aaron Kane, is laser-focused on changing that. He's not just negotiating for Caitlin, he's challenging an outdated system that restricts new players from fully capitalizing on their value. What's more, Kane's strategy isn't just about money. It's about control, giving players the ability to shape their own futures. He knows the current system limits stars like Clark, and he's positioning her as the spark to ignite real change. Free agency in 2026 could be his first and biggest move. Imagine 87.5% of the WNBA's all-stars all hitting free agency at the same time. That's not just a basketball transaction, it's a seismic event. The 2026 offseason has the potential to reshape the league entirely. It's happening because the league's current collective bargaining agreement expires in 2025. Once that clock hits zero, nearly every top player in the league becomes an unrestricted free agent.
A blowout, especially with Jonquel Jones coming back to the New York Liberty finals. And a lot of Fever fans were crashing out after this game, saying like, how could we stay so close? And then of course, once again, like we give it up in the fourth quarter. But I actually wasn't so upset. They have got to be our favorites to win the WNBA finals. Their team is absolutely with this game. The Indiana Fever has been a team where they haven't been able to be consistent through the entire season, but the kind of basketball that they played trade against the Liberty.
They'll be free to sign anywhere they want with no restrictions, no matching offers. Just pure choice. Think about what that means. Entire franchises could lose their starting five in a single summer. Here's where things get really fascinating. This wave of free agency creates two possible futures for the WNBA. It could lead to the rise of super teams, where top players flock to big markets. Think of an LA Sparks or a New York Liberty loaded with stars. Or it could go in the other direction and create a league full of parity. Maybe players spread out more, chasing personal opportunities, endorsements, or a chance to build something new with smaller market teams. Either way, this isn't going to be your typical off-season shuffle. It's more like hitting a reset button on the league itself. If you watched the NBA during the formation of the Miami Heat's Big Three, or when Kevin Durant joined the Warriors, you already know how free agency can change everything. Remember how those moves didn't just create dominant teams, they forced every other team to completely rethink how they built their rosters. You could see the same chain reaction in the WNBA, especially with agents like Erin Caney already planning ahead. That viral photo of Caitlin Clark chatting with Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu in a tunnel wasn't just a random snapshot. For Caney, it was a message, showing the power of players working together.
A home game for the Indiana Fever. New York Liberty fans show up and they show out. The New York Liberty at this point is doing, but the Indiana Fever hung in there, and it wasn't until the fourth quarter that the Liberty pulled away and they ended up winning the game at home in Brooklyn. And I do actually wonder what the strategy is going to be on bringing her back if it gets to the point where the Fever are not going to make the play. And I want to talk about the New York Liberty for a second because they are quickly turning into a super team, and at this point in time, playoffs, I could see them shutting her down for the entire season if it looks like that's not going to happen.
Caney's vision isn't just about signing bigger contracts, it's about giving players more control over their careers. The 2026 free agency wave isn't just business. It's players, for the first time in WNBA history, rewriting the rules for how this league works. And Caitlin Clark isn't just in the middle of it. She might be the blueprint. So what happens to Indiana? That's where things really get interesting. Caitlin Clark isn't just making waves on the court. She's part of something much bigger. Her agent, Erin Caney, isn't focused on just raising her salary. He's looking to flip the script for an entire league. The WNBA's future could revolve around players taking control of their careers and setting new standards for value and opportunity. The question is, what kind of league will emerge? A system controlled by bold athlete decisions, or one held back by outdated policies. With the 2026 free agency on the horizon, one thing's clear. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about rewriting the game itself,